This is Christy Quinlan, and this is my Brit Rest journey.
Right, idiots, this is Mr. Williams.
This is the Playboy Prince of Professional Wrestling, Lank Rivera.
This is Brian Aidenson.
This is Cyrus Blackwell, and you will say my name.
To Jackson Clare.
This is Joey Fabulous.
This is the Monster of Bad.
And you are listening to the...
And you're listening to...
And you are listening to the Broken But Glorious.
To Broken But Glorious.
Broken But Glorious podcasts. Idiots, get it done now.
Hello and welcome to Brit Rest Journeys on bbgwrestling.com. I'm Chris Lappin. I'm delighted to be joined on the line by 1/3 of the Violent Gentleman Society, Christy Quinlan. How are you doing this evening, Christy?
Yeah, I'm good. I wasn't here last time.
No.
When you did call me in.
You're training, I think? I can't remember.
KC.
You're working?
I can't remember what I was doing. Always doing something. I'm always on the grind. But, yeah, no, wasn't here, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
I enjoy me podcast myself, so...
Oh, brilliant.
Like, something I've wanted to do, you know what I mean? Like, so...
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, what podcast you tend to listen to? Are you a wrestling podcast fan, or do you, like... True crime seems to be a thing at the moment.
I listen to it. Yeah, I'm not big into true crime. It's I like me oral sessions with Renee Paquette.
Yeah, I've not had a chance to listen to that yet. My SoundCloud keeps putting it in playlists. I'm like, the one with she did with Bailey always turns up in one of the recommended playlists. So that one's.
I haven't listened to that one. I haven't.
Well, she must have about 10, 20 listens from me for the first minutes.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean that's how you get people.
Yeah. So how's your return to the ring post lockdown been?
I'm gonna be honest. It's been a weird one. It's been quite hard at times. Because like we had like lockdown, and I felt like before lockdown I was getting into my the best I've been. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like in the ring wise, I think character wise I still had a long way to go and still do, but in the ring wise I was at the best I've been to that point, and it just sort of knocked me from under my feet. It was a bit hard to deal with. Yeah, because when I was interviewing people who went to the same training school as you, and your name kept coming up in the interviews, and then I was looking forward to seeing you, and I was like, it's gone. No wrestling for 18 months or so. Yeah, it's it's fine. Just take away the one thing I do.
Were there any particular matches or storylines in 2020 you're looking forward to that couldn't happen? Or?
I think I'd sort of started to find my groove with this persona that was a lot more me. Mm-hmm. And in the way that I sort of presented myself, it was a lot more like it was a lot more personal, and it was easier that way. I sort of always shied away from that, but I think the way things coming, I believe, but I can't dwell on it.
Have you wrestled since Brit Wrestling? No. Actually, obviously I've trained and stuff like that, but I haven't actually been on a show in front of people. So I'm worried about till this Sunday. We'll talk about Sunday a bit more later in the show. So yeah, for sure. So you've had best part 2 years off. So I'm guessing it's giving you time to rest your body, get rid of all them niggling injuries. Work on what's kind of
you'd be surprised. Like I think wrestling was like keeping my body going. To be honest, it got 4 months into lockdown, and I was dying. I wasn't even like at the gym or anything, obviously. So, but my body, like my knee, like I've had like a bad knee for a few years, but I just got this. I thought, rest will do it good, but it didn't. It was like it just got stiffer because I wasn't using it, and I was just sat in my little depression pit in lockdown, festering away.
So did they give you time to come up with like tweaks to your character and to your moveset? Now you're returning, or having them 2 years off?
I I think I was a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Before lockdown, I was quite skinny, and I could do a little bit more fastings, but I couldn't do so much of the like. I could never do like a power bomb or like a really good looking suplex or something. You know what I mean? But I feel like over lockdown, I think we all gained a bit of lockdown weight, didn't we?
What's what seems to happen? Everybody put on this lockdown weight and then turn that lockdown weight into muscle. That seems to be the pattern.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've turned a bit of it into muscle, like so. Yeah, I'm hoping to be a bit more of a force in the ring.
Yeah,
coming back rather than it's all well and good being the little guy who gets all the cool moves, but I mean, getting thrown around that much is not good.
No. I can imagine.
Yeah.
So let's go way back. So, who was your favourite wrestler growing up?
My favourite wrestler growing up was, I mean, I could lie and tell you I was into like Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart, and I was after a few years. You know what I mean? Like when I got into the wrestling side of wrestling, but when I was little, John Cena was the man, and Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
Big Show. Just these guys that I just like idolized. Just properly loved. I got so angry when like things didn't go their way. I was just that. I was like, do you remember Izzy Bailey's like the hair fan?
Yeah,
I was that, but for like John Cena. I was fuming.
So what's this? Put me 2006, 7, 8 around that area.
Yeah, it will be. I sort of got into wrestling, like watching it. My older brother was big into it, and he sort of just forced me into it, to be honest. And we'd be in like the back room, and he'd be thrown around like this 3-year-old. Like but so I sort of was forced into loving it, really. And
I don't think my 6-year-old had a chance of not liking wrestling, because I love it. The 16-year-old loves it. So.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, once it grabs you, it grabs you. You can't do anything about it.
No. And my girlfriend will quite happily sit and watch 90s stuff from when she was little, so he's probably the most versed 6-year-old in the world. Yeah. He knows his 90s stuff, he knows now, he knows all. Probably the 6-year-old who knows the most about Brit Rest. Yeah. He's been to so many shows.
He's just like a little baby Dave Meltzer.
Yeah. Yeah, poor thing. He caught COVID as well. He's isolated until Friday. We had the best day today because we decided he wanted to make an entrance stage. So we got all this cardboard and we made an entrance stage. It was, best day ever.
Yeah, I think I might have saw that somewhere. Yeah,
put on Facebook.
That looks sick. That was me when I was a kid. I did all of that. I loved it.
It was just a lucky game when I said, "Do you want a paper mache?" Like, just so we can German to him. I was like, "What? Paper mache? Yeah, paper mache. So it's not a thing these days." I remember. It's a very blue piece of thing.
It used to be like the thing. Every school project.
Yeah.
Yeah, every school project was paper mache and or like plaster of Paris or whatever it was called.
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully it'll be dry and hard tomorrow, and they'll be able to paint it. So that'll be good.
Oh, sick! Smashed it.
This is KC Payne, and you're listening to BBG Wrestling.
What prompted you to do the to the ring yourself?
I was very. I think the thing is with a lot of people who get into wrestling is they were big nerds or like a bit lonely or bullied or stuff like that. So I was like all of the above in like year 7 of secondary school.
Yeah.
And it's something I've always wanted, but it kind of felt like a TV show, you know what I mean? It didn't feel like something that was possible. So I Googled wrestling schools near me, and like a few came up, and I sort of gauged where we were on like Google Maps and stuff. And then there was this one in Runcorn, Redacted Wrestling Academy, and and it just looked it I don't know, it looked good. I mean, it had like reviews and stuff on it, and everyone said it was pretty good. So I went down there after like a year of like gearing myself up for it. It took me so long to like, okay, I'm gonna go this week. I'll go next week, and it was just like a year of that until like finally I went. It was the week before my 13th birthday.
Wow, that young.
Yeah. And it was like I'd tried like football and karate and all the sort of extracurricular stuff kids do when they're kids and trying to like find their niche.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd always sort of like quit after like 2 months or something, you know what I mean? So, but I just got this feeling from I was in the class with Matt Fox.
Yeah,
trained by Matt Fox, and he is amazing. And he was just so nice, and it was like walking. It was like a shock to the system, because you go to like a football like practice as a kid, you know what I mean? And it's a little bit cliquey.
It is.
Like,
yeah.
You feel like a bit of an outsider, but Matt was very, very. He made sure that everyone came up to me and said, "Hi, my name's so and so," and it made me feel very welcome. And the first person to talk to me was Harley Hudson.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah, she's the best. She's still like a very good friend, because she was just the first to like talk to me, and it was just it was good atmosphere in that kids class with Matt Fox. And
she must have been young then as well.
There was this like
she only just turned, she just turned 19 now. I can't remember. She even 19?
Yeah. She just turned 19.
Yeah, I think
she's just turned 18.
Yeah, I think she was 17 when I interviewed her about 2 years ago. So
yeah. I think she was about 13.
Wow.
Going to 14, and there was a really nice like group of us in that kids class, and it was me, Harley Hudson, Hattie McKenney, and Kay Lynch.
Wow.
And it was just like this little golden generation, not to toot my own horn. 13-year-old me, we were like the clique, you know.
Yeah, I hope Harry comes back one day. So, I'm sure he will.
Oh, me too, honestly. We're always, me and Lance Rivera are always like pushing it on him.
Yeah.
Love doing it.
But
yeah, after. Oh, sorry.
No, carry on. Yeah.
After that sort of initial week, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I bought a pair of wrestling like shooters, and didn't look back.
Well, amazing. So I'm guessing a 13-year-old, you didn't really want to mold your style around John Cena, but was mostly Rey Mysterio who you wanted to like mold your style around when you started training? Or?
At that point, this is when I got a little bit more marky.
Yeah.
And you know, and I was super into What Culture Wrestling on YouTube.
Oh, I love this.
That got me like hooked on. Sort of made me realize I was only looking at this little piece of the puzzle, but there was so much more interesting stuff going on everywhere. So I got a little bit more marky and sort of found guys who I was like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah, that is it the 2017 No Let's Rumble, not Kirby one. We watched that so many times during lockdown. Yeah, Isaac has a knack of finding rumbles on YouTube.
That's good stuff.
He just becomes obsessed. There's a Britannia one, which Ryan Lloyd wins in 2021, and we must have watched that about 50 times in about 3 months. He was obsessed with it. Because I had all the Paradox in it. He was obsessed with Paradox when he was 4.
Yeah, the Paradox boys are great too.
Yeah. He's had a knack of finding rumbles with Paradox. And there's this one for Fusion. There was coming Fusion because he found a Paradox. He found
niche.
Yeah. He found a rumble with RJ Silver and Andy Knox, and I was like, how did you find these things? You're 4?
He knows the algorithm.
Right, so did you have an idea of a character when you start training for? Or what was Christy version 1 like? It
was when I first started training, I was was that smart who loves to cheer for the heels. You know what I mean? So I was loving yeah, I was liking a few people. I liked oh my god, my mind's just hit a blank. I liked Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And he at the time had I think he just, if this timeline is probably like so messed up, I think he just like broke up the Shield and he was like doing his Money in the Bank run, and I was huge into that.
I think that was 4.
I was like
14, 15,
so athletic and
yeah. 14, 15, 16. I can't remember exactly
sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I love that. I loved I fell out of love a bit. I not fell out of love. I just sort of ignored wrestling for a bit, for a 5-6 year period until I got dead back into it. Just before I got into like What Culture and stuff, and so I had this like backlog of like so much stuff, like the entire like summer of Punk in WWE and stuff.
Yes.
So good. Just that entire run, and Christian his feud with Randy, the one more match feud.
The one more match feud. That's quite.
I just loved that Christian was such a heel and such an awful, like smarmy, cowardly guy, but also when he was put into a corner, he could back it up, like he could go.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to sort of put that into Christy Quinlan at the time.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
So takes back to your first show. What do you remember about the match? And in hindsight, did it go well? Have you gone back and watched it?
Well, my first show is actually me, rather than like appearing in like a mask for like the sixth man of a 6-man tag. Was Rumble. The school I was at did a like monthly shows, and it was a Rumble each year, and I was in the Rumble, but I wasn't actually Christy Quinlan.
No,
I thought no, that name's too unique and unheard of. I'll go with Tommy Murphy.
Yeah,
was my name. Was my name until lockdown.
Yeah,
until my mum said to me, why is your name Tommy Murphy and not your name? Tommy Murphy's like, I don't know, like Chet Hardbody, or like you know what I mean? It's like
an Irish boxing name.
I had this name as my name just sitting there, like, no, it's not a wrestler's name, but no. Anyway, first show was a Rumble, and I just really enjoyed it. I think if I was to have like a show or like a school that also did shows, I'd definitely debut my new guys in a Rumble. It's so unexposing in a way that normal matches aren't.
Yeah, if I put them in a battle royal, a Rumble, or in I had them in a 8-man tag, or they would be like 8.
Yeah, it's just so fun. You sort of link up with your mates in there, and you get your shine in when you enter. But after that, you're just sort of a face in the crowd a bit. It's just a nice way to figure stuff out without being the centre of attention.
Was that the Rumble where Lance lasted like the whole match?
I think it might have been. I think so.
He's
I think it was actually, because
we had a running joke on the podcast. We had a running joke that nobody's ever seen him win a match, so that which got ruins the first match. I saw him back. He won, so I was like, "Oh, that's ruined our joke." But yeah. But that's but you still, So you sent me this Rumble.
I mean, he always
he sent me the Rumble. He's in for an hour. I said, "But you still didn't win it." I was in it for an hour. I said,
yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter. You didn't win, but you lost.
So it's quite.
But yeah, so I remember sort of him gassed in the corner when I entered.
Because he literally had a match. What did he do, like the main event, and then go straight into a Rumble and style? I was like, why did you do that?
Yeah, it was something like that. And you know, Lance, he's not one to sort of rest on a match, even if he is pulling double duty. He's a bit of a nutter, to be honest.
Yeah, I love watching him live. Can't wait for this Sunday. He's in such an interesting match. Even he doesn't seem to know what the rules are. Red light, green light match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that match. How it's gonna go. I mean, there's a lot of talent in it, so
it's gonna be
I don't think it's not gonna disappoint at all.
I just don't understand the rules. Can you get pinned, or is it just red light?
No,
green?
me neither.
Are you just playing red light, green lights? What happens if you're in the middle of pinning someone and it goes red? Does that mean it counts to 2 and then you have to come back on and then you can kick out then?
I mean, we'll have to see, won't we? It's gonna be a wild one.
Yeah, James Greenwood's gonna have a fun evening, I think.
That man, he's a martyr. That's what he is.
It's amazing.
He dies for our sins every single show he's on.
I'm sure James Greenwood, Tony Knox, and Ant the editor are all have clones, because I can't believe they were at all these shows. I was doing that watch.
But to be fair, you know what I mean? They do such a good job.
Yeah.
Posted everywhere.
It's like, how's he on this show as well? Just saying he'd seen him there.
It is properly nuts. Thing is, James Greenwood, though, he's so lovely. He just wants every show he's on to do well. Like, I don't know if you saw, he bought a ring bell so that no show that he's on doesn't have a ring bell.
Oh wow,
it's so good. It's like wow, this guy.
Yeah, he's amazing. I worked backstage at Odyssey, the debut show, and I didn't realise the last train was at 8:30 and the show finished at 9. So he drove me back. He dropped me off in Liverpool, and then we chased down the bus to make sure I could get the bus into town. it was like 11:30 at night. So I was like, if I get the bus, because I think the last train was like quarter to 12 or something. So I managed to get this train into town, and then. Yeah, he's so nice. It's like, what time's it now? The bus is near at 9. We'll chase it down.
What a guy.
I'll drop you off at the bus stop in front of it.
This is the violent gentleman, Tommy Jackson, and you're listening to Broken but Glorious.
So, as mentioned, just something I've wanted to see live for a while, and this Sunday at Wrestle Island, Red Light, Green Light, I get to see you. I think it's pretty much a sellout.
Yeah.
I saw the owner Pete put up there's only 10 tickets left. So I will put ticket information in the description if anybody wants to look at it, but I'm guessing they're gone.
To be honest, by the time this is out, it's not looking hopeful for you if you haven't got a ticket yet.
No. So before we discuss the match, for those who didn't listen to the Tommy Casey interview, tell us a bit about the history of the team, how you met Tommy and Casey.
I think me and Tommy and Casey, really, Casey was always a guy in training that I was like, this guy has it all.
Yes.
Like, he's huge, but he's like he's in the same mold of like a Donovan Dijak or Lee. Do you know these huge guys who
Brian Cage type thing as well,
who can just just outwork everyone, and it's like that's so annoying. You genetic freak. So yeah, he was always a guy that I sort of looked up to in training. He was so lovely and down to earth, and always working so hard, and the first to like jump in the ring when a drill was on or stuff like that. So I really respected that about him and loved that. And then Tommy was, I've always been like quite close with Tommy since meeting him. I was his first match on a show.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And he's just lovely. I love his family, his boss, his whole vibe's just really good. And
it's amazing.
It was in the middle of lockdown, and he just popped me a message. Like, I've been thinking up this group. Do you want to be involved? And I was like, yeah, of course, because if there's one thing I'm bad at in wrestling is just having this extreme sort of persona. This was like heaven for me. Like, yeah, of course you can come up with my entire gimmick and I just get to wrestle.
Yeah.
Right? So it was this sort of natural thing we started talking about, and it was one of those things that like you get excited about, like planning these like mad ideas that just spiral off, and it was just dead nice, and we were thinking we need a third guy, because we don't want to be like a tag team. I love tag team wrestling, but we don't want to be a tag team. We want to be this gang, this like group, and we sort of looked at stuff like do you know Peaky Blinders? Mm-hmm. That's three brothers. You got the three brothers who are the top dogs, and they all have the set like archetypes that those three brothers fit into, and we needed that. We needed this third triangle to balance out this Triforce that we had or didn't have yet. And KC was just he was a guy that was mentioned, and it was just like, why didn't we think of it sooner? He is perfect for this role.
Yeah, I mean, because I interviewed Tommy, and he was telling me about this violent gentleman gimmick he was trying to think of. I'm trying to think, it was late 19 or early 2000.
Yeah, I remember that.
Early 2020, I can't remember when it was, but he never got to put it into a match because lockdown came.
Yeah, he just like got all his Twitters and Instagrams covered in this gimmick, and it's just always the way. I managed to be there for the debut of the Violent Gentleman against Harvey Hudson at Wrestle Island. I loved it. The fans hated him as soon as he watched it. I don't think they even had any music. Oh, they absolutely hated him. They all loved Harvey Hudson. So it's just like, she is just lovable, and but yeah, Tommy's he's great. Yeah. He's got one of those faces that is just so he has he can turn on this despicable look to him.
Yes,
it just makes him look like, oh, I'm gonna hit him.
Yeah, because the Violent Gentleman Tommy Jackson is nothing like, I don't want to say his real name, Tom. He's such a top bloke. And Tommy Jackson's so horrible. It's just like, it's this, but it's in him though. You know what I mean? That's where this sort of group came from. I think we were three guys that weren't really given much in the way of, you know, like people say, you give them an inch and they'll take a mile. We weren't given the inch, and that was annoying. That was frustrating. It was frustrating me. I mean, I don't want to bring it up really on the podcast, but if you were to ask Lance, he's my like emotional punching bag. I just sort of go to him when I'm like, Lance, I need to talk about something. He knows how frustrated I get and how frustrated I was at the time. And then build up to Tommy approaching me, and he was a guy who was he joined like training and stuff quite late, and he progressed quite quickly. He was good with his character. He was really confident. Wrestling wise, like obviously we all can improve, but he took to it. You know what I mean? And so he was sort of getting to that point where he wants to sort of just push a little bit. And then we thought KC, because I think he's so good and he should be everywhere. That's the thing with KC, but he won't say it. He's the strong silent type, and he should be everywhere. Definitely.
So it's these three guys who are just a little bit like, oh fuck this. I'm sick of waiting for someone to call me name. I'm going.
Yeah, and that brings us to this Sunday. So you're making your in-ring debut for Wrestle Island, the six-man tag, yourself, Tommy Jackson, KC Payne, the Violent Gentleman Society, against three of Wrestle Island's fan favourites, Conor, Clyne, James Reid, and Charlie Brennan, who you attacked at the last Island show. Attacking Charlie is a way to get the crowd to boo you.
It's certainly a statement. He is. I think he's all like. Do you know the kid in the neighborhood who is so precious, and fuck with that kid, and you'll have everyone from fucking 10 streets down knocking at your door. That's him. You know what I mean? Sometimes you've got to upset the apple cart. We can't all be Charlie Brennans.
No.
Some of us are Christy Quinlans, unfortunately. So why not sort of lean into that?
Definitely. Oh, I can't wait. I don't think I've seen Casey Payne have a match live. I've seen him on YouTube. I've seen him come and help Gino a couple of times at Wrestle Island, and I can see them in a Rumble, but it's not. I don't count Rumbles as I've seen you in a match because you literally.
You don't get a good look in. Yeah, that's the thing. KC, his the way he moves and wrestles, video doesn't do it justice.
No.
He is a mountain. He is a mountain of a man, but he's doing like handsprings.
Yeah.
Like to the point, like I used to whip out the handspring. Like that was one of my spots that I used to do. But he just did it better, and I was like, oh come on, this is heavy. I'm like 140 pounds, piss wet through, and this beast's whipping out a handspring better than me. This isn't fair.
Yeah. Do you know if he's gonna like slightly change his style now? He's like a heel.
I mean, why does he have to? It's the thing is with this idea of heels and babyface, it's given circumstance.
Yeah.
It's everyone's the good guy in their story, just not everyone's viewing it from their story's perspective.
Yeah.
So why would he change the way he wrestles? He's not wrestling. If any now, he'll do more. You know what I mean? He's not wrestling to impress people anymore. He's wrestling because that's how he wrestles. He doesn't have to sort of put a suppressor on it, or he's going full out. He's uncaged, and that's a dangerous thing.
Wow, yeah, I can't wait because it's gonna be an amazing show.
Yeah, honestly, I can't.
So going forward, do you have any feud you're hoping for in the near future, or are you hoping to maybe not within Wrestle Island or other places?
Yeah, I'd love to wrestle Lance. Love to go one-on-one with him. We never really done that. We've obviously done it in training and stuff, and that's it's just not the same. You know what I mean? No. I'd love to have like a full adrenaline up, no pain versus Lance. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's something that could make me appreciate wrestling a little bit more. I feel like with every match, my goal is to figure out a little bit more about myself or how I should be. I think that's what I want to get. I want to get a little bit out of every match.
Yes.
But other than Lance, I'd love to wrestle Matt Fox.
I can see that.
I think he's the best in the UK at the minute. One of the best in Europe. He's amazing. I'd love to. Me and Harley Hudson it was always us in training matches, and we were similar sizes, and I'd love to wrestle her in like a full on show.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I think that would be awesome. We're such good friends. It's one of them. You hit your friends harder. It's such a sadistic thing.
Yeah, I've heard that.
What you do. You hit your mates harder. Me and Lance, me and Harley, me and Harry, we all just hit each other so hard because we know there's no hard feelings. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, definitely.
This is the Playboy Prince of Professional Wrestling, Lance Rivera, and you are listening to the #1 wrestling podcast, Broken but Glorious.
If you're a promoter for a day, promoting an event, so using wrestlers you've either worked or trained with, wrestlers are associated with you in some way. If I give you a match type, will you tell me who you put in that match?
All right.
Okay. And as it's your show, every match can be intergender, every match can be triple threat, fatal four-way, multiple person. If you want to add a stipulation to a match, do it.
Yeah. I'll do it.
Cool. So who will be in your opening contest? Get the crowd excited.
Okay. In my opening contest, that being training at Future Shock since coming back from lockdown.
Yes.
I'd love to put Sam Bailey in the opener, I think. Ooh. Who else? What a guy for an opener, because the point of an opener is to get the crowd ready, and
yes,
he can warm up the deadest crowd going. He's great.
It's great as heel or face as well. He can get the crowd
exactly. I mean, I'd probably put him as a heel because he's just hilarious. He's so good. And he'd be against in like a straight singles match. My little brother, who also he hasn't really been able to train in the past since lockdown because of like age limits and stuff that have been put in place since the speaking out movement, which is understandable, and he gets that. But he was great, you know what I mean? He was like a little Matt Fox.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
He was awesome. He was great. I'd put him with Sam Bailey because I just think that'd be really a really fun match.
Cool. What's his wrestling name?
It's I'm pretty sure it's just his name, Padraig Quinlan.
Padraig Quinlan. Cool. I think I've seen that.
Yeah, I'd retweet some of the stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Give him a little bit of rub.
Cool. What about comedy type match?
This is a weird one. I don't know. Jack Sinclair. This is one of the funniest guys.
He is.
like he's so dry, like in his actual like just talking to him humor. So I put Jack Sinclair in with Glitch from the arcade.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
He's the antithesis to Jack Sinclair's comedy. He's like over the top in the way he wrestles. He has like these crazy ideas. Like I've planned matches with him and I've worked with him. He says things and I'm like, what goes on inside your head to come up with this? This is hilarious, but this is nuts.
Yes.
And I've put him in with I've put those two verse and it's a triple threat. Okay. Jack Sinclair, Glitch, and Brian Aidenson, who's like one of my best buds. But he had this comedy match with Matt Fox.
Yeah,
and it was great. It was like sparks. It just natural. He's such a likable guy, and he's so like earnest. That I think this comedy match would just be.
That'd be so fun.
It would be amazing.
I love Brian's work at TNT at the moment. Him and
he's great.
Simon Miller. But you just wouldn't put them as a tag team, but it works so well. And I know it's probably broken up now because Simon turned heel, but I'd love the last 6 months of what are they called, the Baldy Arseholes or something stupid like
that. He's great, Brian. He's one of those guys that don't take themselves too seriously.
No.
And that's so important. You'd think it would be everyone in wrestling. It's such a dumb thing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna put on my spandex battle undies and roll around with you.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take myself so seriously and be this big man. Brian is so. You come to him with an idea and he's like, "Yeah, I'll do that." That's hilarious.
Then we've got your women's title match.
Women's title. I've put Stacey Rose.
Yes.
She's great. She's lovely. I love Stacey. Versus Alexis Falcon.
Ooh.
I think that's just a good one. I think
that'd be fun.
Alexis doing bits at the minute. She's killing it.
Oh, Alexis is amazing, yeah. So is it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like you say amazing, yeah, but that's an understatement. She's had a great year, like just flawless year, really. And I think that'd be a really good match because
she finally gets a Wrestle Island title after 2 years.
I know. I know. Finally. Yeah.
Stacey's somebody I need to see wrestle live. I've seen her manage live, but I've seen her wrestle on YouTube. I've never seen her wrestle live. I was meant to go to Kingdom of Wrestling, but we all
she's
went
great.
Well, all went well, so didn't go.
She's great, and it's enough for the character alone. She's great, but she's such an underrated worker. She just gets it. She's one of those people that because they watch wrestling so much and are influenced by it so much and have been around it so much and watched these like great people training, and she's always trained with them. Like she might like have been like a manager, but she's always trained as well, which is something you never really see. Like you you just don't see it, but obviously she's worked hard and she's just great. She understands wrestling. She just gets it.
Okay. Mid-card title match, so like a workhorse title.
Well, that's Lance Rivera versus Harry McKinney.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That's something that I've wanted to see for forever. Those two guys are just. We have like this. We our group chat, the three of us. It's the Paisley Power Trip. So, it's just good stuff. You know what I mean? Those two guys are. You say workhorse title, and it's just like workhorse Lance Rivera.
Yes.
He's like. He's like the Sandbach Dolph Ziggler, you know what I mean?
Oh, I love
that. Yeah, and I mean, it's always the way. Jackson Clare's done it as well. Harry he was in good shape, like in his last run, like just before lockdown. He was in really good shape.
Oh, he's amazing.
And then since lockdown, he's like hit another level of being in good shape because he's just been working out. So he looks great, but he's not wrestling. So it's like Jackson Clare done it too. It's like Jackson Clare always had
the best shape of his life.
And now Jackson Clare's like cut to the teeth. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he told me last time I spoke to him he hasn't retired. He just doesn't know. He
keeps changing his status. He's a snake. But yeah, those two that'd be like a match. And it's a 30-minute IMA match.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Cool about like a hardcore Extreme Rules style match.
Am I allowed to put myself in?
Sure. It's your card.
Yeah. It's Harley Hudson versus me.
Yes.
I know Harley. She always talks about like during the TNT tournaments, the deathmatch tournament. Yeah. She's always like she's always bringing up death matches and how she wants to do it. Even just once, just to give it a go. And I'm the same. I'm like
a lot of people I've spoken to want to do it once. Alfie Brooks wants to become a deathmatch wrestler, and I was like, why would you want to be a deathmatch wrestler? I don't understand it in my head. I can understand why you want to do it once, but I don't see why you would want to become a deathmatch wrestler.
Yeah, no, that's insane. That's silly. Don't be silly. But yeah, and it's just an opportunity for us to batter each other, really. Yeah. And I think I mean, I can't really speak for her, but I trust her loads. So it's one of them. It's who else would you want to be in the match with, really, than someone who you know.
Definitely.
Listen, you're gonna have a good match, but also be safe as well. Not too safe though.
Then it's your tag team title match.
Tag team title match. I actually didn't write one down for this, but I at Future Shock, I've been training, and the Synergy lads have been there.
Oh.
They are athletes.
Yes,
it's insane. It's insane that like the width of these boys.
Especially Ryan, he's probably as wide as he is tall.
Honestly, it's like
of muscle, not fast. Listeners, if you haven't seen Synergy, look them up. They're not fast. They're muscle.
No, it's just pure beef. It's like it's insane, and you see guys who struggle with like up and overs and leapfrogs and stuff. They get up so high, it's crazy. They're like they're just insane. And that gif that Ryan posted on Twitter of his pounce, from a show, it's great. So I put those two boys in with Grizzled Young Vets, because
that'd be long.
I was a fighting spirit in like that bit last year where we weren't in lockdown. Yeah, schools opened up again. I went to fighting spirit, and they're two like really nice dudes. Like it was mad. Like I was messaging like at the time I messaged JD on Instagram, and you just don't expect him to get back.
No,
but he was like back instantly, and like. I was just asking for like advice and how I was doing in training, and he was just lovely about it, and Zach's super nice. I think we sort of have a same sort of perspective on some aspects of wrestling, you know. So it was really nice to learn from him. It was he sort of, without me telling him what I wanted to do, he was doing it in class anyway. It was nice.
Oh, amazing.
Really useful stuff. Really great guys. I think that match would be awesome.
That'll be amazing. That'll be fun.
Yeah. It'd be a great match.
That's a contrast in styles I'd like to see as well.
Yeah.
Your main events?
My main event would be Matt Fox, and I struggle to think of a guy to put in with him. I'm a bit like, who could do this? I honestly now I've because I did it in my notes app. I wrote up the card and I was like, okay, I'm it's just hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because this is like so many guys who are just, I think Matt could get an amazing match out of. I think Chris Ridgway would be awesome. I love. I think I'm gonna go with Chris Ridgway, but my runner-ups are they're Dill Roberts.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, but the only reason I haven't picked him is because we've already seen that, and it was amazing.
We've
already seen it. Yeah. This is a cheeky one. I've done a few seminars from Dave Taylor, so I'm going to throw in a cheeky Dave Taylor mention.
Dave Taylor referee or something.
Yeah, he can be like special enforcer or something. But yeah, Matt versus Ridgway.
Yes.
I think that. I don't even have to talk about that. That's pretty self-explanatory.
That'd be a great match. That whole card would be really fun. I'd love to watch that card.
Honestly.
Yeah. Cool. So before we go, where can people see you in the near future? Got Wrestle Island this Sunday. Have you got any other?
Yeah, we've got Wrestle Island. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about loads of places. Obviously, my brothers. We're in the Superstar Rumble.
Yes.
The other day. I couldn't
make
it. Yeah, I mean, you've got to. Just bully him, to be honest. I think that's sort of our ethos at the minute. We're very tunnel vision at the minute for Sunday. It's go now. But obviously, I mean, Superstar would be awesome. Then TNT would be great. I'd love to go to BWP or anywhere really. Future Shock is a goal.
I think the Violent Gentleman versus this new Northwest collective, RJ and Joey Marcus and Dougie Matthews. And, I think that Ryan Riot, that could be fun though. Yeah,
I've actually I wrestled Ryan Riot in Wales. I think it was 2 years ago now. I mean, it must have been. But it was me, Ryan Riot.
Adam Lowe's the other guy. I was trying to think of the other guy was Adam Lowe.
Yeah. So it was this 4-man at a charity show done by BWP, and it was great. He was a really nice guy, so I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to wrestle Ryan Riot again, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Cool. Do you want to promote any social media you have?
No. Sorry, I should have been prepared. Can't even remember my own ads.
I can put them in the description if anybody wants to find.
Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Gotta say it. Okay, so on Instagram, I am real REAL CMQ. All lowercase. That's my Instagram, and on Twitter, I am the same but all uppercase. Or if you want to search by name, currently it's Christy Quinlan. So
cool. I will put all links in the description below the interview.
Please do, because that did not get across well.
Cool. So I've really enjoyed speaking today. I'd love to have you on again in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime. I love podcasts. So